My question is what sort of, you know how they call the buy box, right? So what are your buyers looking for? Do they is there a specific set of criteria, or is it just that it cash flows, but if it does cash flow, like what is it, by a number? Is it percentage, or
Yeah,
is there some, and also how do we get into this community? Is there a cost to it? What's the details on that?
yeah. So let's talk first about the buy box. Uh, it is these folks are buying numbers. They couldn't find Marietta on a map if you pay them. They don't care as long as they can deliver. I would say 200 plus monthly cash flow minimum, and 10% or better cash on cash return. We're in business. Um, I like to make sure that I'm putting them into a deal where I would do the deal myself. So I don't like putting them into D neighborhoods where they're going to have turnover every 6 weeks. I want them to be able to put a quality tenant in there and stick them in for the next year, 2, 3, 4, 5, and make quality cash flow if that's what they want to do. I don't want to stick them in the war zones where they're going to perhaps get great cash flow for like a month, and then it's going to be a nightmare after that. So I want to put these folks into good, stable arrangements, but generally speaking, they're buying the numbers. So if it's a couple $100 or more in positive cash flow and at least 10% ish, 9.8, I'm okay with. 8.9, I'm still okay with, but not 3%, not 5% cash for cash. Oh, and as far as the deal slicer community, it's $99 a month. There's no minimum, there's no contract, and you can stop whenever you want. But I want people to get in there and get the skills, get the training, so they can start finding deals. And if you've got a deal, then you get me. You get me because I want to have a role in managing and running. Um, there's a we haven't talked about it on this call, but there's 7 functions that I've identified for a wholesale transaction, and each of those functions earns a percentage of the wholesale fee based on what they are. One of those functions is the deal maker, and the deal maker is like the quarterback on the team. So I want to be the deal maker for all the deals that you bring forward. At least for the first ones. Once you're good enough and skilled enough to be your own deal maker, that's fine. But um, I want people to bring deals into the community so that we can all, as the collective, take them down when they need the community, the village to take down that deal. For a seller finance deal, as I did with Jason, we would just split the wholesale fee. I'd let you stay in the middle and continue to collect the payments because this is messy and it's easier for you to do that yourself. But whatever wholesale fee there is, the spread between the down payment that you collect from the investor and what you pay to the seller is what we would split 50-50. Well, actually, we'd split 50-50 or based on the deal slicer methodology. If other people were part of that deal and if it were a team effort, we would split it based on the provisions of the deal slicer. But we would divvy up that deal just like any other based on the preset parameters. I want to be the deal maker for all the deals that you bring forward. At least for the first ones. Once you're good enough and skilled enough to be your own deal maker, that's fine. But I want people to bring deals into the community so that we can all, as the collective, take them down when they need the community, the village to take down that deal. I'm also, frankly, partial to portfolio deals. There are a lot of sellers out there. Jason and I know exactly what this looks like, where they've got 10, 15, 20, 30 properties, and they're looking to sell everything. And rather than trying to tackle those piecemeal, I'd love to be able to make them a package offer. We'll buy all 10 of your properties. Because if I've got a team of people working those, we can take down $1 million portfolio because I got people to help me do it. And the kind of deal that would make other people terrified to pursue, we can tackle if we have enough people. I guarantee you that if you could find me a quality seller finance deal, we can sell those all day long. And it's not just overseas folks. There's plenty of people in the US who would love to get into a deal where they didn't have to deal with the bank. So any kind of seller financing is magic, and foreclosure is perfectly subject to. I'm a big fan of tired landlord because that's a big win for pure seller financing. A lot of those folks own those properties free and clear. As Jason and I know, the seller that we did the 4 deals with in 2022, she had those properties free and clear, and we structured the last 2 seller finance and wrapped it and made it available to the end buyer investor. So when in doubt, let's just talk about it. If you're not sure if it's a good deal, let's have the conversation. Any other
Hey, Mitch.
questions?
For those eager to delve deeper into this topic and access the entirety of our mastermind calls, head over to dealslicer.com. By joining us, you'll gain access to a wealth of knowledge and insights, allowing you to find answers to all your burning questions on this subject.
So Deal Slicer, the platform itself sits on a tech service called Slack. Some of you are familiar with this. I was not before we started doing Deal Slicer, but I'm becoming more familiar with it. It's kind of like social media for business. It creates an opportunity for you to have interactions between team members and provide information for people to share, etc. And we're organizing it into, for now, let's call these, I think they're called channels and groupings, categories. I want to point your attention first to this Deal Slicer framework training. So those of you who have joined Deal Slicer probably understand that there's a framework through which I propose you divvy up any wholesale deal into 7 functions. And those 7 functions, or roles, are how we can have a team of people work on a single wholesale deal and not step on each other's toes, not get in each other's way, but in fact help each other achieve the goal and then get paid the wholesale fee per their work as a share of the total. And because there are 7 of these roles, I've got training for each of these. So for example, the very first role is seller marketer, and here in the Deal Slicer platform is the seller marketer training. There are 4 videos. They range from 10 minutes to as long as 23 minutes. But it's not just the videos, it's also the samples. This is the sample text message I recommend you sending out. This is the sample email messages. So all my tips and tricks for how to perform the seller marketer role are here in this channel. And any comments anyone else has made about this is all here as well. For the record, this also is where you would learn how to access the Tired Landlord leads library that has all of the leads that we pulled for, in this case, Tulsa, which is part of what you get with this Deal Slicer program. The video for how to do that is also here. So the training for the Deal Slicer framework is provided here. I've got the first roles. I've got other roles that I'll be uploading in the next several weeks. Ultimately, all 7 will be here. But since you're going to be starting with seller marketer and seller manager, those are the most important ones. And if you can get those mastered, then you can start making money without doing anything else other than that. There's additional training that I've got here. Pretty much all the training courses I've prepared in the last 10 years, I'm putting into the Deal Slicer framework. So I have a course on bigger pockets, how to make the most of bigger pockets. I think it's a half a dozen videos. All those videos are included in this other training section, and you can see them here. You can look at these as often as you want. You can make comments, you can ask questions, and I'll respond to your questions if you do. Same thing for the Deal Confidence Rental Analysis training course. I did that a few years back, and I took the 3 best trainings, 2-hour training on how to analyze rental deals, and those 3 trainings, 14, 13, and 12, are here along with my sample long-term rental analysis spreadsheets. So everything that I use to analyze a deal is here and included as part of the Deal Slicer campaign. I had talked yesterday, actually, in a Team Unstoppable call about how I access Georgia pre-foreclosure data for free. Well, that video on how I actually do it in detail is provided here as well as one of the channels. So there's a ton of information here, a ton of training that you can get. It's all you can eat. You can review this stuff as much as you like. You can ask questions of me about it, and I'm happy to answer them. There are other channels here as well. Every single Team Unstoppable call that we've ever done is here and recorded. You can see here going back to probably 2022, early 2022, but they're all here in their full video. There's also transcripts provided. The content is here for your use, and if you have questions, you're welcome to ask me about it. There's general discussion about deals, in this group as well. People have challenges or they're working on a particular deal, then that information will be put here. And lastly, there's this direct messages section. So like other social media platforms, it lets me interact with groups of other Team Unstoppable JV partners who are working on a deal. So for example, Matthew and Rebecca and I are working on right now it's a mobile home park in Tulsa. And this is where we can interact and talk about the various offers and make suggestions and recommendations. It's basically our own little social media corner where we can talk about this particular deal and have a place where we can look back at all the comments that were made and make references to it. It's a nice thing to have. So this is the Deal Slicer platform. It is, in my opinion, the best way to do collaborative, what I call fractional wholesaling, where you have a team of people tackling a particular wholesale deal and all get paid. And I welcome you to the group, and I hope that you will get this information absorbed, and more importantly, I hope you'll bring some deals so that we can close some deals together and make some money. If you have any questions, reach out to me directly, but I'm glad you're here. Bye.
Are you finding yourself chasing the wrong leads, lacking confidence in your training, and struggling to get timely and helpful answers to your questions? Do you feel isolated without the support of a strong peer team and unaware of the latest tech and tools? Perhaps you're questioning if you've chosen the right market for new investment opportunities. If you find yourself grappling with any of these questions, there's no need to dwell on uncertainty. Take the proactive step of seeking answers with Deal Slicer. With Deal Slicer, you'll gain the insights and support you need to overcome challenges, make informed decisions, and propel your success forward.